Yeah, guys, I had totally forgotten how good Little Witch Academia was. I can understand fully well how Studio Trigger was able to, just by showing one episode of Little Witch Academia, and I think the Enchanted Parade is the second episode, was able to sell this this limited edition. I can understand that, and of course, this is not all of the limited edition. There's also art book or illustration book, I would call it, and then a little script that explains it, because what is written on the pages. There is, however, one thing I will complain about, and it's not the anime, because the anime is freaking great, and that is this little Blu-ray here. When you put it in your PS4, there it starts the movie, and you then have to press the option button on the PS4 and choose English in subtitle and Japanese 2 if you want the 5.1 what's called audio. I didn't know this. I thought the Japanese 2 was something else, maybe stereo. So yeah, I first found out that when I was done watching the movie and it went into the main menu, where I then found out there was a 5.1 option. I will, however, be watching it in 5.1 on the second episode, the Enchanted Parade. And also, of course, I can understand why Trigger did this, because it makes perfect sense. You isn't getting spoiled by, some movies love to have their main menu basically run like sections of the movie. It makes sense. However, it's sad that I didn't watch it in 5.1 because the audio is really good. However, what is this movie about? This movie is following our main character Aiko, who wanted to be a witch because as a child he watched another witch called Shiny Chariot perform for the humans, and I would say it's a really good performance. It shows. But we find out that on the academy that Aiko goes to, or actually through the witch world, that Shiny Chariot isn't really very well liked, because she gives it a wrong impression of the witches. She makes them look like they are entertainers instead of to be feared. And I can understand both sides of the argument, that Shiny Carrot is a good one, and it's a wrong view for the witches being feared. Because if you're a good one, entertainment, people of course will like you. However, if you fear, you will not. They will not try to burn you at the stake because they fear that you may turn them into stone or something. However, this fear can also cause it so you actually are getting burned at. Other witches are getting burned at stake, and yeah. However, in our world, there existed witches, but witches isn't like magic. They was just wise women, and that's why. That's actually what witches means, wise woman. And you see that in a movie called the Halloween Tree. I really hope Tsunami Aftermath is airing it to this Halloween. But enough about that. Let's get back to talking about this. And yeah, as I said, the Shiny Chariot isn't really popular. And here we see the difference between people, because Diana, she's basically like putting Aiko down for liking her. And Diana, in case, Diana, she is our female main character's rival. She's basically like the opposite of her. She is very good at things, like history and stuff. But that is of course understandable, because as we see later on, where Aiko basically can control her broom and is basically falling through a lot of trees, and I'm surprised she didn't get any injuries. We find out that Aiko, she isn't from a witch family like her friends Lotte and Susie, who, I would say, here they have a very different take up on talking about it, because lots of, when she is like trying to get Aiko in a better mood after getting shiny chariot, basically getting her a bit down, being talked bad about. She tries to do it without, you know, being direct. However, Susie, she is direct in saying bad stuff about shiny chariot. So yeah. However, Aiko, she gets a chance of redeeming, and I would say all of them is actually getting a chance of redeeming in some way during the RPG treasure hunt, as I would call it. Basically, instructor Ursula is sending them down in like as a this is a school event that they're basically sent down in a labyrinth where they have to collect treasures, and yeah, of course those treasures is guarded by monsters. So sorry about that. So of course you can't just, you know, like go down to the deepest level and basically take it, because if you're not strong enough in magic, you may die. I'm actually not sure if the Switch is dying in this or something, because we see that, but it seems like more like adventures than actual people. And yeah. However, we also see how powerful Diane is, because while our female main character Aiko, she has issues killing a little. In an RPG, it would be a slime. Actually, wait a second, no, because in Final Fantasy, slimes are very annoying. Very annoying. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those in 13. Oh god, those are annoying. They would be like, it would be beginner monsters. However, Diana takes down a monster that is really strong. However, she's not able to take down a minotaur with the help of swords. It's basically like, you know, Gilgamesh's unlimited blade work, or whatever the spell, his noble phantasm is called. He basically fires a lot of swords. I don't know what it's called. I cannot recall it, and I don't like Gilgamesh. Everyone knows why. He treats Ilya bad, and Ilya is in the Fate universe, unless we are in Fate Ilya, the best girl. She is best girl. She is O2P girl. End of story. So yeah. However, we are lucky that Susie is there, because we see how she is a bit dangerous, because she basically goes up, or maybe she's a little crazy, because she goes up to the Minotaur and says, open up, and then she basically puts in some of poison she has made, and that poison is very powerful, because it basically, as it basically like acid, what's it called, basically, yeah, acid its way through a lot of floors, and in the floor that Diana and her two friends Hannah and Barbara ends up with, there is a Iron Maiden that apparently witches feel it, because there is a lot of witches that have been killed in Iron Maiden. And in case you wonder, Iron Maidens is actually not a real tool. I don't think it ever been used in real life. I think it's like something that is created in the future, like, as I recall, kunais. They are also something that is created in our time, not something that ninjas actually used. But let's get back to that Iron Maiden. Diana thinks that there's something in it. So she opens it and releases an ancient dragon, who is very bad news, because that ancient dragon absorbs magic. So every time it's hit by magic, it actually gets stronger and stronger. So how are they going to defeat that? That is a good question. And the question, or the key to defeating it, is actually that Aiko finds the staff of shiny carrot in a treasure room and takes it up. And here, when she comes up, and Diana has already been there, and she actually shows a very that she has a good personality. She's not like, oh, I'm not at fault, because she was about to admit to Ursula that she was the one releasing the ancient dragon. We also find out that the staff that Shiny Carrot had was very powerful, because when it comes, it should have lost its glow. Basically, the 7 stones in it should have lost its glow long ago, but it still glows. So Ursula asks Aiko to go up and basically like recharge it. So from what I can understand, or what I think Ursula is planning, because a spoiler here, Ursula is Shiny Carrot. Chariot. If I say carrot, sorry about that. I just, I don't know why I call it carrot. But she is, so what I think she is planning is that having Aiko go up to the stone basically and charge it, so she can perform a shiny arc and defeat the monster. But it doesn't go that way, because let's say like this, she gets basically kicked away by the dragon, and the Susie and Lotte, they basically get like beaten out very much. So yeah. However, we are lucky that Aiko remembered the quote or the spell to summon the shiny arc, because else the ancient dragon, may have had eaten the magical stone that is the power of all witches. Basically, it's the thing that does that witches can use magic, because basically their magic is like put into a stone, and well, magic is basically like you take a stone, then you infuse it with magic, and that's the way witches can use magic. However, Aiko, she defeats the ancient dragon, and yeah, if it wasn't because Diana, she saved her, she would have died. And here we find out some very interesting thing. Diana is actually a closet Shiny Chariot fan. So I must say, Studio Trigger, they did a really good job with this anime, because they reveal in a good way that Ursula is Shiny Chariot, and they also show how a loser can become like a hero, and also how the rival doesn't need to be 100% dick all the time. So yeah, this is, as I said, a very good anime, and I would highly recommend you all to watch it if you haven't already watched it, because as we all know, Studio Trigger, they does very good anime. But as always, things must come to an end, and so is this review. So all of you guys, have a good day, night, wherever you are, and see you later with the second episode. So cheers, guys.